Hey, my name is Tremaine, and today we're going to be going over the 5-step framework to funding your music career using the bank's money. So if you guys don't know, I created a 5-step framework to funding pretty much anything by using the bank's money. Right now, I'm probably going to turn this into like a video series, right? Like a five video series to help you guys, understand my 5-step framework so you guys can, get a little closer to funding your music career. So the first step is you want to make sure you have a business, right? This is called the professional step. Right, you want to make sure you have a business, right? You don't just want to, go into any bank and tell them you're a rap star and you want to get $100,000 in funding, right? You don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you set up a business, right? Now, what I mean by setting up a business is, not really doing like the sole proprietorship and all that type of stuff, right? I'm talking about setting up a real business like S Corp, C Corporate, LLC, right? So I recommend setting up an LLC, right? LLC it stands for a limited liability company. And in my opinion, it's probably the easiest business to set up, right? So you would go to your Secretary of State, and pretty much set that up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you want to do. You want to create an LLC. Now, before you go and, set that up with the Secretary of State, you want to make sure you have a pretty much like a neutral name, right? Because there's a long list of businesses and names and things like that that a lot of lenders don't like working with, right? So you want to make sure you're not on that list, right? Because let's just say one of the lists on that name is entertainment, right? Now, entertainment can mean a lot of things, but on that list, entertainment is one of the names, right? And a lot of artists, a lot of people, they love to put entertainment in their name, but entertainment is associated not all the time, but sometimes it's associated with like adult movies, right? So when a lender or someone see entertainment, they may try to put you in that category and not fund you at all, right? And that's just one name, right? It's a long list of businesses, right? Now I meant to say not name, but businesses, right? And if you have a name that associate with that business, they're gonna judge a book by its cover, right? So that's pretty much what they're doing. So you don't want to give them that option to judge a book by its cover, right? So you want to have something that's like neutral, right? So whatever name you come up with, just put LLC after it, right? A lot of people, they have like their, I don't know, some cool name, and then they'll put LLC, right? You would have to really know what that name means, right? But some people, they put the cool name and then entertainment, then LLC, right? Just put whatever name you have. You can use your name. Like my name is Tremaine. Just put Tremaine LLC. You know what I'm saying? And then, they probably would, okay, what is that? What do you do? Blah, blah, right? And you want to make sure you have a neutral line of business as well, right? So if you're an artist, right, in my opinion, you're using your music to promote something, right? So in my opinion, that's marketing, right? Music is really a tool to, market something else, right? So I would suggest you, put yourself as a marketer, right? Because you are, right? 9 times out of 10, you are a marketer. You know what I'm saying? You're marketing your brand, right? So marketing is the easiest business to fund, right? So marketing management, those types of names and things like that, those are the easiest businesses to get funded. Or you could just put consultant, right? Consultant, you are you're good at music, right? So you can consult others, you know what I'm saying? So you can, enter that line of business, right? And if you, go into my membership, we could talk more about, a consultant and things like that, which is like a whole nother stream of income that a lot of artists don't really think about, right? Like songwriting, right? You could be a consultant for that, right? You know what I'm saying? Or a marketing consultant, because a lot of you guys are running your own ads and things like that. You can become like a marketer, right? So that's what you want to make sure you have. You want to have a neutral line of business, right? You're going to set up your LLC, right? Now, I'm probably going a little backwards, but before you set up your LLC, another thing you want to make sure you have, you want to make sure it's available is the name, right? So once you come up with your neutral name, you want to make sure that the name is available with your Secretary of State and the domain is available, right? And that's your www.name.com, right? That's a domain. So you want to make sure that's available, right? Because I don't want you guys to come up with like a cool name and then you set it up with the Secretary of State. Next thing you know, the domain isn't available, right? Which happens a lot, believe it or not. So you want to make sure you see that that domain is available, and you want to make sure it's available with the Secretary of State, which means no one is using it, right? Now, .com is probably the best domain to get, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you can't get that .net, you know what I'm saying, .co, those will work as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want if you're trying to get funded through a vendor or lender and then they see your name, they type it in on Google or something like that, or put yourname.com and something totally different pops up, you don't want them to, you don't want them to get confused. One more thing you want to make sure you have is a business phone number. Right now, a lot of people, they try to set this up after, they set up with the Secretary of State, IRS, all that good stuff. But you want to have a business phone number, and then you want to add that phone number to all your super important documents, right? So you set up your business phone number, and then we're gonna set up the LLC. Right now, when you're set up the LLC, you go through your Secretary of State. So you can put whatever state you're in, put Secretary of State and set it up like that. Or you can use like a third party, like InkFile or something like that. Then they'll, pretty much set it up for you. Because some states, their like Secretary of State website is kind of weird and confusing. So a lot of people, they go to like InkFile or, companies like that to set up the business for you. Right now, after you do that, you want to get yourself an EIN number. Right now, the EIN number is not through the Secretary of State, it's through the IRS, right? So you want to set up your EIN through the IRS, which is free, right? There's a lot of companies out there that charge money to, set that up. And, sometimes it's convenient if you don't feel like going through that process, but the process is so simple. I can't imagine anyone just saying they don't feel like going through that process. But, you can set up with the Secretary of State, get your EIN number, which is like a business social security number, right? So you want to set that up, and then you want to, after you get all your documentation, like you got the documentation from the Secretary of State and the IRS, like all that stuff, you have it. You want to go get your Dun & Bradstreet number, which is another business identification number, and you're gonna set up your Dun & Bradstreet number, and that's pretty much it, right? So this is the first step to funding your music career using the bank's money, right? Which in my opinion is the easiest way to get funded. I appreciate you guys for checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next video.